Hello, every. Very good evening to all of you. And today we are here with the next session on time management. Now we have gone through many rules of time management and many proverbs saying that time is money and time is very important. We need to uh, have the exact calculation like what we are doing when we are doing. So the time is something which is very precious, and above all, the other precious item, we can even keep them into the big fatted almiras. We can keep them in bank locker so that they do not run away from us. But time is something, no matter where you hide, no matter where you keep, it is going to run away from us. We cannot stop it for anyone at any cost. Yesterday while reading one time management quotation just came in front of me, and it said that the lost time is never found again. The time which we have lost, the time which has gone, can never come back again in our entire life. No matter how hard we try, no matter what we are ready to pay to get back that time, but that time is never going to come back in our lives. If you don't want to regret on that lost time, the time is now. Decide, plan, create, organize, and start implementing that. The best way to keep the track of the time is setting goals for you. Goals are something which will never allow you to waste your time, but it is something which is going to keep you focused. It is something which is going to push you hard, that you have to finish it off. And if you remember, in the last session, we started discussing about the process of goal setting, where we have already discussed about 4 points in the process of goal setting. And today we will be discussing few more. But before I go to the few more points, that is 3 more points of goal setting, I just want you to understand the importance of time, the time, how important the time is in our life. Many times we have seen, even you might have done that thing, you just sit in one corner and you regret your past. You say that I wish that time can come again. I wish I can just go back to that time, and I promise I'll change everything. It can be just you want to change your grades in the examination. It can be just you were having some best moments over there, and that was just spoiled because you couldn't value the time. You just want to enjoy those moments again. So it can be anything. But yes, we do hear people, we do see people, and even we ourselves will see ourselves in so many situations where we just regret that why we wasted the time. It's a time for you to go for the interview, and just because of your own delays, you just reach there and you see that one of the biggest job opportunity for which you were waiting from so long, you were trying your best to get that interview call from that organization, and the day you got the call, you couldn't reach there on time and you couldn't go for the interview. Don't you think you're going to regret that? And you will just feel, just at the back of the mind, you will feel like, I wish I could go back to the past. I wish God could give me just grace period of 2 hours. I'll just go back and I'll reach here on time, right on time. Doesn't that thing comes in your mind? Yes, that thing comes in our mind. Many times we regret of wasting our time. And believe me, if you're not you might say that, no, till now, ma'am, I have never regretted my past, I've never regretted that I wasted my time. If till now you have not, and if in future still you are not managing your time properly, believe me, at the age of 60s you'll be sitting somewhere near to the window and you'll be just regretting that I would have achieved more, but just because I didn't value the time. Time didn't value me. There are a lot of people who have great potential, but they are lagging behind. They have the potential to reach the sky, they have the potential to touch the sky, but just because they are not punctual, just because they do not value time, time is not valuing them, money is not valuing them. Yes, time is money. If you are going to value time as important as money. How we think when we are spending even a single penny. How do we think? We think a lot that whether it is worth it. Same way when you are spending your time, just think over it. Whether it is worth it to spend my precious moment for this. Whether it is worth it. Even the relations, for building the strong relation, for having close bound, they need time. They do not need monetary gifts, they do not need luxurious gifts, they just need some time from your busy schedule, which you can just give me, and where they can just enjoy your company. They can just feel relaxed that, yes, you are sitting next to them. You are sitting right in front with them, right with them, and you are giving them the time, which is the most precious gift which you can give to anyone. So, in today's session, we are going to continue with the ways to set the goal. We were discussing about the process of goal setting, where we have already discussed about 4 points. And we are going to start with the fifth point. We just have 3 more points left in the process of goal setting. Now, if you remember goal setting process, we have discussed about one thing that is very important, that is the SMART goals. We've discussed that how SMART goals plays a very important role when you are setting the goals, and if you are really setting the smart goals, it will help you, or these smart goals will help you to get the work done, to deliver more effectively and more efficiently. So that is what we have learned in the last session. Now, in today's session, we'll be talking about the fifth point of in the process of goal setting, that is identify how to overcome obstacles. See, whenever you are setting the goals, obstacles are something which are definitely going to come in your way. Yes, do you all agree with me that obstacles are something which will come in your way at each and every point of time? Yes, obstacles are something which will come in your way, and no matter how hard you try to run from that, how well you plan, that obstacles should not come in your way, but they will definitely come in your way. So create a plan to address those obstacles. So what's the best thing which you can do is you just create a plan that, okay, this is my plan which I'm going to use if the obstacles come in my way. Because you really need to be prepared for all those types of obstacles. Because if you are not prepared for the obstacles, your entire goal setting process, the entire aim of achieving the goal will go in vain. No matter how hard you have tried, no matter how many efforts you have put in to achieve those goals, you won't be able to achieve the goals because you are not ready with the plan to overcome those obstacles. See, the way you decide of achieving the things, of achieving the goal, it is exactly not the similar way that the things are going to be very easy. At times, you might be prepared for some obstacles which you think that are definitely going to come in your way, and at times obstacles comes without giving you enough time to prepare. And at that point of time, you should always be ready with your plan of action, that okay, these may come in my life as well. So here, create a plan to address those obstacles. Be ready with a plan, that which plan you are going to use to address those obstacles which are going to come in your path, which are going to come in your way, so that you so that you do not have to stop your goal. You do not have to divert from your goal just because you are not ready with your plan of action to overcome those obstacles. Set priority if you have multiple goals coming in your way. So, again, to avoid those obstacles coming in your path, it is very important that, let's say, if you have planned out 10 goals which are coming, which are meeting the criteria of SMART goals, now it's your duty to find out that which goal are of priority nature, which are the goals which you really want to achieve first, that these are the priority, these are time bound goal, and if I'm not going to achieve them at this point of time, the opportunity for achieving the goals might slip from my hand. So for that, identify those goals which are of higher priority, and your first focus should be on achieving those higher priority goals. Here, most of the people do one common mistake, that they focus on working on multiple goals altogether. So do not do that. If you think if you are working on multiple goals, you will be able to accomplish the goal quickly, then you are absolutely wrong. See, you have 10 hours which you will be devoting to achieve your goal. If you're working on multiple goals, you will be simply getting distracted from the goals, and unnecessarily you will find that you have wasted the time, because let's say 5 hours you're devoting for one goal and 5 hours you're devoting for another goal. So every time when you just come back to your goal, you again have to go through that, what all I have done, where I was standing, and what more is required. So this is unnecessary, going to take extra time. So do not try doing that thing. Just focus on one goal at a time. That should be your motive, and that is going to make your work really very easy. Just try this. The people who say that we are multitaskers, there are really exceptional cases who can really perform well even if they are doing two different tasks together, but that is practically not possible for each and every person to perform or to do multiple tasks altogether. So just focus on working on one goal at a time. If institutional politics or procedures are an obstacle, seek help from others who have achieved the same goal. Now, see, there are a lot of different obstacles which are going to come in your way. Let's say you want to start your own business, you want to establish your own business. So, in establishing your own business, you might see that there are some legal problems which you are facing. And for those legal problems, you cannot work on that yourself, right? You might require some external person's help. So in that case, if you think that you require some expert help, do not hesitate to take the help from those people. Find those people and get the thing resolved, because see, you might not be perfect in each and every field. There are people who are specialized for doing these things. So you have to focus, you have to find out the right person who can help you out to solve those problems and help you to avoid those obstacles. If required resources are unavailable to achieve your goal, set access to required resources. Find out which all resources are required to achieve the goals. And if you think that the resources are not available with you, just find out, just Try to find out what are the ways by which you can get those resources in hand. Because, see, for achieving the goals, it's not going to be easy. You have to face many obstacles, you have to face many challenges, but the one who is ready to face the obstacles, the one who is ready to face the challenges, is the one who can achieve their goals. Achieving the goal is never going to be easy and was never easy for anyone also. It requires a lot of patience, it requires a lot of hard work, it requires a person who can really and dedicatedly work towards achieving the goal. And the last point says outlining what will be accomplished and how it will be done and what resources are required for goal attainment. So, see, for avoiding the last moment confusion, for avoiding the last moment problem, one of the best thing which you can do is you can simply outline that what all things you require, what all. So just you need to outline, in the beginning of the goal, when you're setting these smart goals, just take time and find out that what are the resources you will be needing, what kind of help you will be needing in achieving those goals, in achieving those things, because it is going to make you well prepared, and it will also help you to find out those resources which will help you to attain your goal more successfully. If you just simply set the goal and without proper planning, without listing out the things which will be required for achieving the goal, if you just all of a sudden start working on that, you won't be able to deliver the effective results, because again and again you'll be getting stuck because you're not well prepared. You're not well aware about the obstacles which are coming in your way, and ultimately they are stopping you and they are delaying you from achieving your time bound goal. And you will see that when an unplanned person is focusing on achieving any kind of goal, they ultimately result in getting nothing in their hand. So I outline what accomplish you want to make, what requirement, what obstacles you think are going to come in your way, and along with that, also prepare the list of resources and the expert help which you might require to accomplish your goal on time. The 6 point says review the list. Review all the goals to ensure that they are reasonable. Review, just go through all the goals which comes in your way and review that list, that whether they are the reasonable goal. Always try to map those goals with the smart goal structure, so that you can know whether they are achievable goals, they are the channel goals which you can actually achieve or not. So review all your goals, and it's not just one time review. Let's say you have achieved something, after that when you have started working on that, with the change in time, there might come situation there the goal which you were finding to be achievable earlier is not achievable now. So review your goal and ensure that whatever goals you have set are the reasonable ones. Ask following questions to yourself: is accomplishing all these goals feasible? If not, what adjustment need to be made? See, when you are setting the goals, you need to ask yourself that is it okay if I accomplish these goals? Are these goals feasible? And if not, then what changes I should make to make these goals feasible? Just find out those changes. For this, how you're going to find out those changes? One, when you are actually reviewing your goal from time to time, then only you will get to know about the changes which are required for accomplishing the goals and for making the goals feasible. Next is, will I be stretched in accomplishing these goals? If not, how can I make the goal more challenging? Now, if you remember the master goal, I've told you that goals need to be realistic, but along with that, they need to be challenging also. If you do not set the challenging goals, maybe you'll not enjoy achieving those goals because see, it is not bringing out your hidden potential. It's just an ordinary thing which you are doing. Let's say a person who is already working as a manager from last 3 to 4 years, and he again said that I want to be the manager in this specific company. Do you think he is setting a challenging goal for himself? No, he is already sitting on that managerial position, so how it is going to be a challenge for him? How it is going to create a challenging thing for him? It's not going to create a challenging thing. So you need to check from time to time that whether you have set challenging goal for yourself. Though you are setting the goal which are achievable, accomplishable, which are achievable, but along with achievable, the goal need to be challenging also, because until and unless they do not give challenge to you, no one tends to enjoy achieving the goal. Well, I feel a sense of accomplishment in achieving these goals. If not, what other goals should I add? See, you are working for the sense of accomplishment, right? So you have to, when you start working on those goals at that initial stage only, you have to check that whether it is going to give you sense of accomplishment when you're going to achieve that goal or not. And if it is not giving that sense of accomplishment, then what are the goals on which I should focus or I need to focus? Based on your response to these questions, make any necessary adjustments. So when you have found the answer to all these questions, now finding answer to these questions needs a detailed study about these questions, that yes, why the goal is not feasible, is the goal challenging, whether I'll feel accomplished or not once I achieve the goal. So for this, you need a detailed study about the goals which you have set. Do that study, and this study should not be done in between when you have already started working on the goal. That should be done when you have set the goals. Once you have written down all the goals, whatever you want to achieve, just review all your goals and try to find out the answer to all these questions. And if you are able to find out the answer to all these questions, and the answer to all these questions is yes, that means yes, you have set the right goal for you, and yes, your goals are achievable, and you should start working on achieving these goals. Next, the last point in the process of goal setting is monitor progress and continue to set goals. From time to time, you have to check whether uh, the goal you have achieved, how close you have reached in achieving the goal, because it is very important that if you are not monitoring the progress of your goal, you will not know whether you are going to achieve the goal on time or not. For knowing that you are going to achieve the goal on time, how close you have reached in achieving your goal, it is very important that you focus on monitoring, measuring the progress of your goal from time to time. Put your efforts, ensure that yes, you are paying proper attention in measuring and monitoring your goals. So in order to determine whether the goals have been reached, measure progress towards your goals. So if you really want to find out whether you have determined whether you have reached your goal or how close you have reached your goal, it is important that you start monitoring your goal. Use the measures that have been identified to track progress to determine if you're falling behind. So if you remember in beginning, we have discussed about various different things, like we have discussed about what are the ways by which you can measure your goals, what measures you should adopt to measure your goals. So use those measures and identify and track that how far you have reached in achieving your goal, how close you have reached in achieving your goals, because If you're not measuring your goals, you cannot say that whether you are going to meet them on deadline. Are you falling behind, or you are absolutely working as per the deadline and you will be able to meet the deadlines? So to check whether you'll be able to meet the deadlines or not, to check whether you need to give some extra time or you are falling behind or not, it is important that you start measuring the progress of your goal. And if you are ahead of your goal, reorganize this accomplishment. If you're falling behind, consider falling potential. So if you think that yes, I have reached very close to my goal and I'm very close in achieving the goal, then reorganize the accomplishment. And if you think that no, I am really falling behind, then you need to consider the following points. Because if you are falling behind, there's going to be some reason because of which you might be falling behind or you're falling behind. So you need to identify those reasons. You need to identify those things which are stopping you, and so that you can reconsider the timeline which you have given. You can reconsider the deadline, or if required you can extend the deadline, or if required, that what are the reasons because of which you are falling behind. You can just start working on those reasons. So for this, uh, the potential reasons can be time constraint or multiple goals. Just check whether you are working on multiple goals together, or is your focus getting diverted, or you are having the time constraint. Are you suffering from time constraint? Find out that thing. Priority shift. Are you putting the goal on priority or not? You have to find out that whether you're putting your goal on priority or not. If not, then just put that goal on priority. External factors and internal factors, they can be both. There can be some external factors which are stopping you. External factors as in the delay in completing the government procedures, the delay in getting some necessary approvals, the delay in finding or arranging for the resources, the delay in getting the permissions. So whatever it is, if you think these external, it is not because of you that you are falling behind. It is because the time uh, which is being taken due to the external factors which are not completely in your hand, right? If let's say you have applied for any kind of permission, and if the permission, you are not getting the grant of the permission on time from them, so that is not in your hand. You cannot do anything to get that permission early. So that is the external factor which is affecting your deadline, which is making you fall behind of your goal. So for that, you need to wait. You need to just find out alternate sources, alternate resources by which you can get that thing done earlier. And internal factors, so if you find that some internal factors like you're doing procrastination, you're not managing your time properly, you are getting stuck into something which is very urgent and important, then you need to consider that thing, and on that basis you need to put a shift to your deadlines. But whatever it is, before changing your deadlines, before pushing your deadlines to a next or to a new date, it is very important that you need to find out that what are the reasons which are making you fall behind in your goals. See, and unless you are not getting to know the reason, it won't be easy for you to work and to meet your goals in the next deadline also, because you won't be able to avoid or to solve those obstacles which are coming in your way. You won't be able to solve those potential reasons because of which you just missed the earlier deadlines. So with this, we have finished off with the process of goal setting. Now till here, if you have any doubt in the process of goal setting, please ask. Do you have any doubt in the process of goal setting? No. Okay. So now, after the process of goal setting, we are going to start with one of the very important thing in goal setting, that is SMART goals. How many of you have heard this word SMART, SMART goals? SMART goals. Yes, we have been using this word when we were discussing about these seven steps in the process of goal setting. We have discussed about smart goals. We have been talking about that set smart goals. So, what exactly the smart goals is, and why I have written it as SMART? So, is it the abbreviation form or the smart stands for something? Yes, definitely is. The SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound goals. Now, let's see what are SMART goals. What are SMART goals? SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. Whatever goals you are setting, they should meet the criteria of SMART goals. Let's say, for example, I just set a goal, and the goal is I want to reduce 10 kg of my weight. Is it meeting the criteria of SMART goal? Is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it relevant? Or is it time bound? No. I want to reduce 10 kg of weight in next 6 months, for which I'll be reducing 2 kg weight every month. Here it is specific. I'm specifically saying that how much weight I want to reduce and in how much time. So I'm giving the time bound. I can measure this goal every month by seeing that, okay, I have reduced 2 kg, I have reduced 1.5 kg of goal. It is achievable. Yes, definitely for me, if I say that, yes, it is achievable to reduce the weight by 10 kgs. It is relevant to me, and the time bound, as I told you, I have given the time bound of 6 months to reduce 10 kg of weight. So this is the specific goal. If any of this thing is missing, let's say it is specific, achievable, relevant, time based, everything is there, but it is not measurable. You cannot measure the success of that goal. Do you think it is a smart goal? You're working, 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 and you do not know whether you're going to meet that deadline, you will be able to achieve that goal in the deadline, how far you have reached, how much you have achieved. You are unable to find out that thing. Why you're unable to find out that thing? Because you cannot measure the success. You cannot measure the growth. You cannot measure how far you have reached. So that is why, if it is not measurable, it doesn't come in the SMART goal. Let's say it is specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant, but you have not given any deadline. Let's say the assignment, you need to submit the assignment, and this is relevant. You can make the assignment, you can measure the success. It is specific, but you have not given the deadline. Do you think students are ever going to submit their assignments? Do you think students are ever going to submit? Let's leave submit. They're ever going to complete their assignment? No. So, similarly, if you do not give a time bound to your goal, if you do not set the time for your goal which you want to achieve, you won't be able to achieve the goals. Here, it is very important that you just focus on setting the smart goals which is meeting all the criteria, that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. Now each element of smart framework works together to create a goal that is carefully planned, clear, and trackable. So each and every element, even if we miss one element of SMART goals, and if we have four elements of SMART goals, that is also not going to make it a SMART goal. If we work on three elements of SMART goal, and if we miss two elements of SMART goal, those three things are also not going to make the goal smart. If you really want to achieve, then you really have to closely work on the smart framework. Then only it is going to make your goal planned one, clear, and trackable. Creating smart goals can help solve these problems. Yes, if you're creating the smart goals, you won't have to suffer with the problem of with a problem like I'm unable to meet the deadline. I don't have the deadline. I cannot measure the goals. The goals are achievable, but they're not challenging. Now, here, A definitely say achievable, but along with achievable, it is always said that the goal need to be a challenging one. It should be achievable, but along with this, it should be a challenging one also. So if you're creating smart goal, it will help you to solve this problem. You won't have to think that how I'm going to measure the goal, because you would have already set the goals which you can measure easily. You won't have to think that, okay, is the goal relevant to me or not? Is the goal relevant to my ultimate objective, ultimate goal, bigger picture which I want to achieve? That is also you have seen, and then only you have set the goal. So if you're going to follow the smart framework, it is going to solve most of the problem. And you will see that when you are setting the goals as per smart goals, you know you're hardly leaving the goal in between. You're achieving the goals to the fullest, because there is nothing which will stop you to achieve them, because you're prepared for each and everything. Using the SMART goal framework can establish a strong foundation for achieving success. So, yes, if you're using a SMART goal framework, it is going to establish a very strong foundation for achieving the success in your life. And these goals are set to achieve the success. Who sets the goal when you do not want to achieve the success? Do you set the goals if you don't want to achieve the success? No, we never set the goals where we do not want to achieve the success. Now, the last thing which we are going to discuss today is the principles in setting smart goals and objectives. First principle is clarity. So, it is very important that you set those goals which are clear. The clarity in the goal is very important, because it will give you a clear picture about what you want to do, why you want to achieve that goal, what goal you want to achieve, how long it is going to take for you to achieve that goal. So that clarity is very important. That clarity you will get when you're setting the smart goals. Challenge. So I told you, when stands for achievable, but the goal need to be challenging as well. It need to be smart, it need to be achievable, but putting some challenges, because challenges are something which is going to bring engagement, which is going to make it more interesting for you. Commitment. So yes, with goals you need to be very committed, that if you have decided that you have to achieve this goal, so you say that yes, I'm going to be committed and I'm going to achieve that goal. Next is the feedback. So proper regular feedback you have to track, and for that only that measuring part will come into existence, because by measuring you can give the proper feedback, that how close you have reached in achieving the goal. So that regular feedback is again something which is very important. And the last is task complexity. So task complexity means you are just checking whether how complex the task is. Can you achieve the task easily? Is the task achievable? So these are the basic 5 principles of setting the smart goals and objective. So with this, we have come to the end of today's session of time management. Do you have any doubts still here? Any doubts? No, if there are no doubts, then we are done with this session. We'll have the next session for the day, that is leadership and influence, which we are going to start in next 10 minutes. Bye bye. Have a wonderful day.